Hi.
Hey,
Hey.
that
All
was a
right.
mission.
Therapy session, episode 2.
Hey, everybody. My name is Oz, and I'm your co-host. I'm co-hosting with.
Malachi. Mal, just for short. All right.
Doing good, thanks. What about you?
I'm real good. I'm spending some time with Eunice here. You
Yeah.
know,
Same,
catching
same.
some
Eunice
air.
has been very fierce today.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully not too fierce. I've had some stories today whilst at work about people having to bring their cats in because they don't want them to go flying. And things falling apart. It's not nice. And I know a lot of people have been through a lot of things today. Hopefully
Yeah,
you're all safe. Wishing
yeah,
you the
yeah. I
best in
hope
this
everybody's doing
trying
good.
time.
This
Okay,
actually
so
interesting if you think about it,
yeah.
just quickly. Like, nature
Mhm.
doesn't give a ish about anyone, does it?
No, of course
Because it's
not.
literally like
The weather doesn't
whatever's on
do.
my path, I'm just doing me. I don't care about your feelings, your health, or whatever. I'm just gonna do me, man. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, Eunice is one toxic queen.
Yeah, no, I don't care about nobody.
No, but at all. All right, so go on then. Let's before we get into it, tell me
Yeah.
something. So,
Hmm.
what's something that as a child you believed with your whole heart? Not your whole
Yeah.
heart as such, but just something you truly believed. But then growing up, realized that as an adult now,
Yeah.
realized it wasn't true.
Huh. That's very interesting. Like I was saying earlier, it was like something that no one's ever asked me before. But thinking about it, the thing that stands out was, to be like, let's say, if you are a wealthy person or you like have a lot of money, I
Mm.
was basically told that only good people had money, like because it's like if you are a good person, God rewards you
Yeah,
with like earthly riches. But as I grew
yeah.
older, I like I'm beginning to realize that that's not
Sorry, 1 second.
necessarily true.
Yeah. So if
Yeah,
you're a good person, I'm really sorry, it cut out for me for a moment. So if you're a good person,
like you'd be rewarded with earthly riches, like God rewards you on here on earth and also when you die. So like on earth, the things we measure would be like maybe how nice your house is, how much money you have, like the things you can afford to pay and stuff like that.
yeah,
So growing up, I always saw like wealthy people almost as saints. But as I got older, I'm like beginning to see all of these like people in history, and clearly they are well off. They are like literally super super rich. But
yeah,
you then realize, oh no, some of these characters are one of probably the worst people on earth, and they still have money. So like, what gives? It literally confused me for the longest time until I made the realization until I realized that like, well, money basically because it's man-made, so it can't be given to you by God because it's something that's we invented. So you can be rich in multiple ways and still be like a shitty person. It doesn't. It basically I realized that it's not true, but it was
yeah.
something that was drilled in our heads when we were kids, and I believed it wholeheartedly. But I'm grown. I'm like, I guess that was bullshit. But yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean that stems from two that could stem to two conversations. I mean, the first one
yeah,
being that,
yeah,
most people don't make us it when it comes to when you talk about rich, there's a
hmm,
difference between people who are who are rich and people who are wealthy. And the thing is people who are wealthy,
yeah,
it tends to be the case that you don't make wealth, you take wealth, which means the reason why they're so rich is because they're underpaying people that either work for them or that they're dealing with in some way or another. That
yeah.
means they're profiting off the top of that. Um, in the same way,
True.
that's just not fair that wouldn't be allowed for someone who's of in the working or middle class.
Hmm.
The other thing I'd say, well, you talk about God giving you this and God giving you that,
Yeah.
and of course, I'm not going to touch on religion because that's a touchy subject, but it's a sense of what came first. Then did God first? Because obviously,
Yeah.
there's no people without God, as many
Yeah.
people see it, but then
Hmm.
there's no God without people. There was no one to say that, oh, this is let me go to that, or let me ask for this, let me pray to this person, then
Yeah.
it's kind of like if a tree falls in the middle of a forest and no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound?
I mean, it does. It's just like you're not there to witness the sound. But yeah,
What is it like? Do you know what a sound is?
I know it's wave.
Yeah, a sound
Yeah.
is a vibration, but a sound isn't a vibration in just that sense. A
Mm-hmm.
vibration is a vibration. A sound is a vibration that's translated in our brains chemically to then be interpreted as a certain sound.
Mm-hmm.
When we're speaking to each other right now, I understand you, you understand me, but that's because we're on an agreed sort of sense of what certain vibrations mean, and our
Yeah.
brains interpret with that. If a tree in the forest,
Yeah.
yeah, who's in and no one's there to hear it, a tree will vibrate. You know, it will
Mm.
set vibrations somewhere. But if
Yeah.
there's no one to translate it, does it technically make a sound? Because a sound is
Mm.
just a
I
vibration.
still, I still say yeah. It's just because like you're not there to, like I said, you're not there to interpret that vibration to go, oh, this is like the tree sounded like gooding when it fell. It still
Mm-hmm.
makes it. It's just that you like the think about it this way, like say you are a medium that records the sound and translates it. Just
Mm-hmm.
if because there's the absence of that doesn't still mean the sound is not made. It's just that anything that could
It
perceive
does.
us is because we're not there. But I still think it
Yeah.
will do it because whether you're there or not, it still does it. It's just that you happen to be there and interpret it as a sound.
But you interpreting it, is it becoming a sound? Before you interpret it, it's just a vibration.
All right, okay. This is too much of a lack of brain teaser to start on up start the podcast with, but I think it's pretty interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But like
Well, I'll
we
tell you
go
what,
back.
the reason.
What are you trying to? What's the point? I feel like you're leading somewhere.
Oh, I know. Basically, I was
Yeah.
having a conversation with one of my friends the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and basically, I thought about it. So growing up,
Yeah.
it's going to sound really stupid, but as a kid,
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd live to the age that I am right now. In fact,
Oh,
I didn't
me too,
think I.
actually.
But yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, it's like, how do I put it? So I grew up in a neighborhood that wasn't the best, and that still had nothing to do with it. The reason
Okay.
why I thought I wasn't going to live to the age that I am now
Yeah.
was because I'd never seen an old mixed race person.
Oh, that's heavy. Wow. Okay.
No, I'd never seen an old mixed race person. So
Yeah.
child me interpreted that as mixed race people don't live long. That's just it.
So, so that would
I've
be the
never seen.
thing that you believed when you were growing up, then.
Yeah, that's something.
Oh,
That's something that I believed. I didn't dwell on it too. I didn't dwell on it in a sense of, oh, I might die one day or
yeah.
anything like
Yeah.
that. But in the sense of, I've never seen an old mixed race person, so obviously, therefore, I don't live that long.
Dude, I bet the
And
first
I realized
mixed race
that
person you
actually,
saw older that blew your mind.
well, no, I still to this day I've seen older mixed race people now, but they're
Yeah.
still only so much older than me. Like even
Oh,
including
okay.
my mum, so only so much older than me that
Mm,
it doesn't mean. The only reason why I came to realize, I don't even know when it was that I came to realize it,
mm.
but I realized that, oh yeah, racism's a thing, you know.
Yeah.
So I was just there like, yeah, racism's a thing. It happened, you know. There was a segregation of race,
Yeah.
or of color as
Yeah.
such, because we're all one race. So you know, there's a segregation of color, and that meant that also lighter skinned people and darker skinned people
Yeah.
weren't able to interact as such because it was seen as taboo. Of course, still did because racism's stupid.
Yeah.
But as I say, it took me being an adult to understand that, oh, I'm not going to die young
Yeah.
because of
Your skin
because,
color.
yeah. It's just that because this is a particular thing had happened, and it's still quite raw even today.
Yeah.
Now
Mhm.
that's why you don't get the old mixed race people.
That's really really interesting because okay now like now that you've grown and a lot of things are now in context because if
Yeah,
you say like try to go back to when you were younger whatever
yeah,
you were told you because you applied it in the context of your immediate environment like
yeah.
for me for the longest time
Hmm.
I what I thought literally where I'm from Gambia I thought everything that was done in my country
Yeah.
just automatically was done everywhere else in the world. I knew the wall
Yeah.
existed, but like it was never in context until like I traveled. I came to
Yeah.
even England, and like some of this stuff I saw literally shook me for it to click in
Yeah.
my brain. Like, oh, obviously, like now it's obvious because well, different people grew up in different environments and different locations of Earth, and they practice different things, traditions, beliefs, and all of these things.
Yeah.
But like not all of us do exactly the same thing all over and all over. So it took some time to go, of course, this makes sense now. But in when I was younger, it was just like, oh, I guess this is what every person on earth has to do. So it was
Yeah.
just weird to go, no, that's not the case. But like you, when you're younger, your brain completely believes in whatever you believe in, and you think everybody's doing that. Or like say like your belief, you just thought, okay, maybe light skinned people didn't live till like over 18.
Yeah.
You maybe in your younger brain you would have thought, oh, that's how it is on earth, basically, full stop.
Yeah.
Until you start growing up and realize, okay, maybe even where I live, there's not a lot of light-skinned people here, so maybe that's why I haven't seen a lot of them, or there's not a lot of them on TV, or the type of TV I watch, or the type of media you consume. But now
Yeah.
that you're older, you just think about it and go, ah, no, I was an idiot or whatever. Because as a kid, whatever
Not difficult.
you are told, you believe it wholeheartedly, to the
Yeah.
point like sometimes it can be actually detrimental, to be honest. Because like it's, for example, like there's a saying that goes, nobody's born racist, but people are taught to be racist. So
Yeah.
there will be like an aspect of which somebody can be influenced to be racist, and it's really difficult to go, like, say you believe something as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and and it's really difficult to actually try to unlearn that. It's easier to just go, I'm going to find proof to basically show what I believe is true, rather than
Yeah.
actually confront that, because you don't want to confront the potential that what you've been told that you thought was true your whole life is a lie. It's really hard to
Yeah.
like accept that.
Yeah. I mean, that goes into some of the stuff that goes on in America at the moment, like with
Hmm.
their not so much their critical race theory, but if you look at some of their
Yeah,
study books,
yeah.
um, especially the ones in the southern states,
Hmm.
they were funded by this group called it was the Daughters of it was something along the lines of Daughters of the South or something like that. I'm just gonna see if I
Yeah.
can find it.
Okay, what about them? Why did you find them?
Well, basically, I can't remember what their actual name is, but of
Hmm.
course, feel free to search them up. You can probably find it from the information I'm about to give. But
Yeah.
essentially, after slavery had ended, after the
Yeah.
South had lost and the North had won, and
Hmm.
slavery was over, and essentially they had to let the slaves know they were free,
Yeah.
everything like that. Everything had happened. Basically, um, to save their heritage as such and save their way of life,
Mm.
there was this group of women that had essentially they focused heavily on education
Yeah.
and heavily on education and new traditions and stuff like that, and drilled
Okay.
it into the kids. So they changed the history, which is why you'll find it's hard to argue with somebody who grew up and that sort of things because it's drilled into them. But this is why the revolutionary flag isn't racist, because it wasn't about slavery.
Mm.
It was about the freedoms that the North was trying to take from us. The freedom was the freedom to own another person. Like that is what the freedom was. But that's not the way it was worded.
That's
That's
funny.
why you get a lot of romantic movies based in the South about the old Southern times, because essentially
Mm.
it's romanticized. If you read their educational books, it's romanticized. It downplays a lot of what it is. It's like the slaves were treated really well. Some of them enjoyed it. In fact, people like being slaves.
Uh,
How dare you try and say slavery was such a bad thing?
yeah.
And that was they put that into education just solidly, and it was however long but it just carried on and passed from daughter to child,
Yeah.
and so it became a tradition. And now what you'll find is a lot of kids that grew up in those areas
Yeah.
are starting to go, well, this can't be bad because then that means my childhood was bad, and then that
Exactly.
means I'm
Yeah.
bad. And it's like, no,
It's
if the stuff you were taught as a child is wrong, yes,
yeah.
but that doesn't mean that you're wrong. You can change. That's the difference between what's happened and what is now. You can always change.
Yeah, I think people in general, we forget that we, like I mentioned earlier, we're like a medium, and
Mm.
whatever like happens in our life, as difficult as it is, if you don't give it meaning, it actually means nothing. Like for
Yeah,
example, okay, let's say like we're talking and you tell me my breast stinks. Yeah. So
yeah,
say that's the fact. My breast stinks is a fact. I
yeah,
can choose to go, oh yeah, you're right, my breast stink. Oh shit. I don't know, had a busy day or I ate something that's like really pungent or whatever. Or I just go, okay, thank you. I'm gonna go brush my teeth or whatever. But
yeah,
I like there was a time where I was really insecure. Say like if that happened to me, I'd be mortified. I'd go, oh my god, my breast stinks, and it will mean the biggest thing in the world. It will be my biggest problem in the world. I'd be embarrassed. I think you hate me. All of these stuff, but not realizing that me thinking that is me actually giving like meaning to just this statement that you made. Literally,
mm,
that is just complete fact, but like because of how I chose to interpret it, even though I'm doing it subconsciously and like at a very very fast rate, it's almost instant. Like let's say,
yeah,
okay, you said, oh, your breast stinks, and I goes, oh damn it, and I give it all these meanings, but
yeah,
forgetting that you just said one statement. I don't know how you feel about it. Or okay, obviously context matters. How you say it, the tone you use, the facial expression, all of those things matter.
yeah,
But all of that is computed in your brain so rapidly, and you come to a conclusion so rapidly. But because you've come to that conclusion, you believe that that's how the other person meant it or how the other person feels about it. But it's
mhm,
just difficult to remember. Oh no, this fact is fact, no matter how I feel about it. Let's say I felt really mortified about it. Yeah,
yeah,
that's fine. I'm human, but at the same time, the fact remains, yo, your breast stinks. And as a friend, I'm telling you that your breast stinks. So go brush it, have a hazy chewing gum or whatever. But just because I gave it meaning, whatever I interpret it as, that's what I'm gonna now believe that is the fact. Even though the fact was, yo, your breast stinks. But now I'm thinking, oh, this person hates me, or this person is calling out that my breast stinks, and it's weird. So it's like it's difficult for humans to just like accept truth for what it is. We give it meaning, like, oh, I've been told this all my life, therefore it must be true. There's a saying that goes, tell a lie enough, it becomes the truth. So in a way, tying it back to people being taught all of these racist stuff, it would be difficult for them to go, okay, yeah, maybe my dad or my mom was full of shit, you know, they lied,
just
provided
because that's what they were taught, and
yeah.
that's what they were taught, and then
But
that's what
because
their
those
parents
people
taught,
are
and their parents
perfect to
taught.
them, they're not going to be willing to go. In the end, it doesn't matter who you are. Our parents are humans, and
Yeah,
humans sometimes can be faulty, might have prejudices and all of that stuff, and they transfer that to their kids. So
mm,
it will be difficult to go, this person is human, therefore they have flaws and all of these stuff and prejudices and whatever. Like, let me try to rise above that. Let me just try to, like, find out the truth,
yeah,
accept the truth for what it is, rather than just attach all of these things. I'm rambling, but like I think you get the point.
well, yeah, I just want to say that I'm so happy that it took you about 3 minutes of talking about how bad your breast stinks. I think the audience are going to be,
No,
loving
because
that a
like
little bit.
it was almost, how would I put it? It's kind of like a soul memory for me. I think there was a time where like it actually happened. I had like my breast was looked like was thinking it happens from once in a while, and instead of them telling me they didn't, they were talking about it, and I kind of like I was walking and I like kind of like caught it, and it made me feel weird. This was at a party and I was really really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And well, basically, and in my head, I was like, dude, I brush my teeth like 3 times a day. Why does this my breast thinking? And it actually sent me down a spiral where I was insecure and I was chewing gum every minute I could, getting mint so like my breath was fresh. Turns out
Yeah.
the reason is because I wasn't fucking flossing, literally.
Ah,
Yeah, and but then I was also like, this was, I don't call this person a friend anymore. I was just like, well, I mean, if you were really my friend, you would have told me in person, instead of talking
yeah.
about it to other people. But then again, also it's like I think people are really insecure about this thing, that where we can't be completely honest because you're thinking you don't want to hurt the feelings of somebody else or whatever.
No, I
But
mean, I'll always tell you when your breast stinks. Don't worry
yeah,
about
but
that.
that's the thing. In my country, we have a saying like your best friend will tell you that your breast stinks. Basically, it just that's just how it is, and
Yeah.
it's not treated as you like a dirty human or whatever. It's just like, hey, yo, your breast stinks. Like, it happens sometimes.
Is this
So
why you're so stuck on the breast stinking? Because your whole country has got a saying.
probably, I don't know. But yeah, I
No,
like, after thinking about it, I was just like, dude, you should have just told me. But then again, it led to me realizing, oh, flossing is actually very important, and it makes sense. But it was something that I
it's
didn't.
to the health of you. It
Hmm?
shouldn't affect the smell.
Say
It's
again?
important to the health of your teeth, but it shouldn't affect the smell. But it's important of your teeth, but
Yeah.
it should not affect the smell.
True.
When it's actually from your tongue and the bacteria that's on your tongue. So
Yeah,
if you've
there's
got
that. But
bad
also,
breath, usually you need to brush your tongue
yeah, but also
a
think
lot
about it
more.
this way. Say you have like food decay. So you say you have some
Yeah.
food that's been in your teeth for a while,
Mm-hmm.
in between your teeth, that small space, and it's been stuck there, and you didn't realize it's gonna start rotting because that's just what happens, and that also like creates foul smell, and everybody goes like, oh, that's your tongue always from the gut. Yeah, I'm not saying those things are not true, but also like just using logic, when food
No.
starts
So
to
foods, you've
rot,
got to
it emits
realise that
a smell.
no, you've got to realise your tongue,
Mm,
the saliva in your mouth
mm,
is filled with enzymes. Enzymes, what's purpose is to break down food. So even when food is stuck in your teeth,
yeah,
it won't actually rot to the point that it won't rot because your food you're constantly breaking it down before it can rot.
yeah,
Even if
but
it gets stuck in your
breaking
teeth
it
for a
down is
while,
rot, mate.
it's the only time that your teeth make your breath smell is if there's
Mm,
something wrong with your teeth. So if your tooth itself is starting to decay or anything like that, if your tooth itself isn't starting to decay, then the only reason why your breath would smell would be because of your tongue, because that's where you project your voice from. That's where bacteria can stay, and that's where it goes there. So basically, if your breath stinks, as much as you need to brush your teeth, brush your tongue. The floss in itself is more to the health of your gums and stuff like that, so stuff doesn't get lodged there. But it is really hard for food to rot in your mouth.
yeah, for me, I say
This
it's
is what
all
I feel.
three: brush your teeth, your tongue, and also flush. That's it. Well, basically, when I started flushing, I don't know if it's some mental thing I told myself, but I don't know. I was just like more like, okay, I can calm down now. I don't have to always be panicking and worrying if my breath smells or whatever. But here's the interesting thing, though. Now
Yeah,
I'm just like, hey, if my breath stinks, just thinks I'm taking care of my mouth or whatever. If I need to go brush my teeth again, I will. I'm not insecure about it. But
yeah,
it happened to me. I remember there was
mm-hmm.
this girl I really really liked, and she came to mine and we were just talking, before the thing, um, and I caught a whiff of her breath, and it didn't smell nice, yeah. And I had this
Yeah,
moment where I was like, should I tell her? Yeah. And this was just somebody I just like recently started seeing, and I was like, huh, okay, like I'm pretty sure I can now, and it's me being honest, but I'm pretty sure if I do, she's gonna be mortified. So I never did. But also the
mm-hmm.
reason was I'm like, okay, yo, she's like been like out and about all day. Literally, she
Yeah,
could be cooking all day, and she came to see me at the end of the day. She didn't have chance to go freshen up or whatever. So like,
yeah,
yeah, obviously your breath would stink. Say you woke up at 7 in the morning and you are up till 7 and you only brush your time that one time, but you ate so much stuff during the day.
yeah.
The smell's gonna
I
linger.
mean,
Mm. I
personally,
didn't
I
tell
go
her.
by the 10-second rule.
Hmm?
Personally, I go by the 10-second rule.
Yeah,
If you're in a position where you can fix it in 10 seconds,
yeah,
or they can fix it in 10 seconds,
yeah,
I'll mention it. If you can't fix it in 10 seconds,
yeah.
I'm not going to, because it might be something that it might be something that is something that you're anxious about, you've already self insecure about.
That's what I'm,
But if
yeah,
it's something that can be fixed, like if it's like, oh, your breath stinks, I've got chewing gum. Do you want a
yeah,
chewing gum? I'll
yeah,
tell you. If I ain't got chewing gum, and I ain't got nothing to help you, and your breath stinks, and we're stood in the middle of nowhere,
yeah.
that ain't helping nobody but make you feel bad. I already
I,
know your breath stinks.
I
You
haven't
don't
got,
know your breath stinks yet, so
yeah. I like how our podcast started from like childhood things we believe to now breath. That's my fault. But I just one more question
yeah,
before we close that end. Let's say
yeah.
your breath stinks. What would you rather? Would you rather somebody tell you or just give you gum?
Well, personally,
Yeah,
again, it depends on where I am. If I'm at home, I'd
yeah,
rather you tell me my breath stinks. I can go
yeah,
upstairs, I can brush my teeth. If I'm out and about,
yeah,
for my own sort of sense of security, as well as my own insecurities, I prefer you just give me the gum and I
yeah.
chew the gum because I could probably take the hint. If you just offer me gum out of nowhere, then chances oh, I've got gum. I'm about to have a piece. Do you want a piece?
Yeah. You're breaking a little
Just
bit.
because I fancy it. Yeah, sorry, I just got a text through.
Okay, I hope we got that on the recording, but it just stopped on mine.
Yeah.
But I guess the context like matters. There was a time where like let's say somebody would just offer me gum. This was when I was insecure about my birth, and I thought, oh God, does this mean my first thing? you know, until there was somebody I knew.
No,
We
it's
were
when you
pretty
go,
close,
no,
and
if you turn it down and they turn to you and they say, no, I think you really should take that gum. That's when you know your breast stinks. If they say, oh, okay,
that's
suit yourself,
never
then
that's
it's
never
just they
happened.
were
I
offered.
I took I took it because I was insecure. I was like, but also, like I said, I could have seen that as help, but I didn't. I saw it as, oh, this person is against me. They're trying to mention them. Like, but that's the thing. If you stop and think about it logically, somebody offers you gum, say your breast things, they just gave you a solution. So why would you be insecure about it? But
Mm,
younger me didn't wasn't patient enough to think like that. I always came with the panicky thought to go, oh no, my breast aches. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? I take the gum, but I still felt weird about it. But now I'm like, I
yeah,
don't care.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
just
and the more I interact with people, there was somebody I just offered gum because I was having gum like for no reason. I was just like, well, I like gum. I'm having gum. They were there. I'm sharing because it's not like their breast stunk. I was just sharing because sharing whatever. And they went, "Are you saying my breast stinks?" I was like, "No," but they said it in a joking way, and I was like, "Oh, there's a secure person." Like that is like a cool response. Like I'm like, no, no, no. I had to actually convince them that no, 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 it's not it. But like to me, the way they jokingly went, "Oh, is it my breast stinks?" I'm like, no, I'm just offering gum, mate. Like it's nothing. So it doesn't matter. Some people will just offer it because they're not. Some people will offer it because they're trying to offer solutions. Some people will tell you. Either way, I think not taking it personally is just the point.
yeah.
And with that, I say we conclude the your breast things
Well, I mean, basically,
topic.
yeah, well, I'm happy to. Well, at least we've got the title of this video. It's just your
Yeah.
breath stinks. Therapy session. But
Childhood memories
yeah,
and
I
stinking
think it
breasts.
goes into a
That's a
lot,
good title.
right?
Childhood memories or childhood beliefs and stinky breasts. But speaking about the childhood like things you used to believe when you were a kid, I would like to go back to that actually. Um,
Yeah.
what was your take on death? Like when you first realized that you were going to die? Because I'm pretty sure were you told by an adult or was it like another kid that told you? And how
Well, can
did
I
you
be
feel
honest
about
with
it?
you?
Hmm?
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I low key feel like I'm immortal,
Okay.
and the evidence suggests points towards it. You know,
I mean,
I've been
you're
in
not
quite a
wrong.
few. Growing up, you know,
Yeah.
I've had quite a few near death experiences, but
Yeah.
I'm not dead. You know, if I wasn't immortal,
Yeah.
then why am I not dead?
It's gonna be so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you die tomorrow, obviously I don't wish for that, but
Well,
it will
if I
be the
go out, I want to
funniest
go out
thing.
like that guy.
I feel like I'm
I'm not.
immortal and then cut through. Oh man, he rests in peace.
Yeah. In loving memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, if I go out, I want
More.
to go out like that, like the Black Knight in the Monty Python films.
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
tis but a scratch.
Just for this cry. Come back here, I'll bite your legs off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, to answer the question, for me, I was absolutely terrified when I first like learned about the concept of death.
Yeah.
I literally it was just like I felt like I wasn't warned.
Yeah.
Because I'm just getting used to life and I'm liking life and one day I just heard, oh yeah, we're all gonna die. It was an adult that told me. It wasn't actually a family member, but it was like a family friend. And
Yeah.
I don't know how the topic got to it, but my memory was he just literally started saying, oh yeah, you didn't know, like your grandma's gonna die, your mom's gonna die, everybody who you like gonna die, you're gonna die. And I was like,
Yeah.
what? You're joking. I was like, no, people die all the time. And by the way, I've not been exposed to death until this point. So
Yeah.
hearing it for the first time literally shook me. And the way he described it was, "Oh, you're just gonna sleep and not like, just sleep forever. You're not gonna be able to wake up. You're not be breathing." I think he was trying to like scare me, and it worked.
Yeah.
So I had to go home and talk to my mom about it, and she was like, "Oh yeah, it's true, but like it's nothing you should worry about." And then yeah, it kind of calmed me down, and I forgot about it. So for the longest time, that was my worst fear.
Mm.
Like even if somebody threatened to kill me, I was like, oh, haha, like you could have literally made me do anything at that when I was young, and when you told me, oh,
Yeah.
if you don't do this, you're gonna die, or whatever, I'd believe you because I was terrified of that. Now I'm like,
Whereas
I've
now
accepted it.
you only do most things.
Say again.
Now you only do most things. There's a
Yeah.
limit.
I have different motivations now, but I think therefore also I have had near death experiences, but I don't think it's something I worry about as much. It's just like I'm gonna die one day. Actually, now I'm more motivated by it because I go I'm gonna die one day, so I might as well just live life to the fullest, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
But
to be fair, the
cheery, yeah.
near-death experiences that I've had personally, I
Mm,
didn't realize they were until after the fact. So, it's
yeah,
never been, oh no, I almost died. It's been a case of I could have actually died there. Like that
yeah,
happened. Like, I'm laughing and joking about it as an adult, and it's like,
no,
yeah, well,
serious,
actually, that is actually quite serious. If I saw something like that happening nowadays,
mm,
I would step in and be like, how, well, what are you doing? But like
yeah,
as a kid, it just sort of wore off a duck's back. Even as an adult,
yeah,
put myself in front of me. But yeah, I think going back to your, I can't even remember. There was something I wanted to talk about, and it was,
okay,
yeah, it was going back to about the way you see the world and how you react to stuff is
yeah,
because it's how you perceive it.
yeah,
Um, I've realized like I've started doing that stuff for myself in the sense of I realized that a lot of the stuff like how do I put it? Like words alone and how you describe and how you talk about yourself can really affect your mood. So things like when people ask you how you are, the classic British response is not too bad. But there was this comedian I was listening to, and he
mm-hmm,
was talking about how Australians go, I'm awesome, and stuff like that. And it's like even me now saying I'm awesome puts a big smile on my face because it just feels positive. I feel positive. I feel warm, and so
right,
I've made sure that I've started to for my own personal growth
yeah,
just I don't use negative words when associate. I don't associate negative words with myself. There are things that I can have done that are negative.
yeah,
There are things that are negative that can have happened to me, but I never refer to them as me. It's me and them. And positive stuff, I do refer to myself as myself. But I think it's good to be kind to yourself and be kind to others.
yeah.
But yeah,
Words
your
are
own instinct
what
can stop a lot. Yeah.
I said. Words are very very powerful. Not
So,
to like conspiracy territory, but I've once watched a video where somebody, isn't it funny? Like, say when we talk about witchcrafts, what do they cast?
spells.
Yeah, and then we spell words. So he was like just trying to make this like kind of like connection. It might be a stretch, but it's just more like the way you speak is almost like you making things come into existence. So it's very important to like just be patient and mind what you say. Like you said, it's like literally. I actually, when you were talking about Australians saying if you ask them how they go there, I'm awesome. That actually made me smile, and I envisioned me doing it and somebody telling me they're awesome, and I
Mm,
literally that happened to me. I'd be so happy that somebody went, "I'm awesome," because it's like whoa, because energy is also like it's transferable.
contagious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like an example I'm gonna give. This is like I've noticed this every time. Let's say when we go out clubbing and we
Yeah.
just dancing, we're just like, whoa, we're hyping each other up.
Yeah.
So, I notice people start surrounding us and
Yeah.
they're smiling, they're high fiving us, they're like saying hi. And then you contrast that to like, say, the guy who's like, he might be feeling nervous or whatever, but he's just like not having a good time.
Yeah.
People absolutely
Avoid that person.
is
Oh,
literally interesting thing because I'm like sometimes even let's say like I'm by myself and like my mates want like someone out smoking, someone to the toilet, and I'm there.
yeah.
Before I just because I'm like, man, everybody's gone out. I feel stupid dancing by myself. But
Yeah.
when I stop doing that, I just dance. Before I
Yeah.
4 or 5 people are surrounding me. Sometimes people even taking pictures of me or videos and like a high
Yeah.
fiving. Like, yeah, it's because like I'm letting the energy go. I'm like having a good time, and people like not feed off it, but like they do.
Mm. That
So
they do.
that's just
It's
like
like
in
a reverse Goku spirit bomb. It's just, you're
it's
just
like
giving
that.
energy out.
So like, yeah, in terms of energy being communicable, I think how you express yourself in terms of using words, it affects your mood. Because if you go, I'm awesome, your brain goes, oh, you said you're awesome, so they're gonna have to make you feel awesome. I
Yeah,
literally got up straight saying I'm awesome just now, and this is something like I'm trying to notice about it, you know.
yeah,
Yeah, it's really interesting because words are actually powerful.
they are. And even if you use them jokingly towards yourself,
Mm-hmm.
certain things can stay on your subconscious. It's like what we were talking about yesterday, where you know it's whatever your brain doesn't know good from bad, so you
Yeah,
can't get your brain to focus on something good over stuff that's bad by thinking of it like that. You think about something. If you think about whatever you think about, your brain will just pull up anything about that so that you
yeah.
can consistently think about it, no matter what emotional trauma or what bliss it causes you.
Mm-hmm.
Just focus on that. And that's why when you try not to think about something, you end up thinking about it more, because you're going, I don't want to think about such and such.
Yeah,
And then your brain goes, oh, such and such, I know that one. Here's 25,000 memories of such and such.
yeah.
And you're just like, no, I didn't want that. And it's like, oh, you didn't want that. Oh yeah, I've got some more of that. But
Mm,
like, no, if you actually change what you're thinking about,
yeah.
rather than trying not to think about something, but trying to think about something else,
Mm,
you can sort of control how you are.
yeah. I have a confession to make.
Yeah.
That for the longest time, I used to think like I am like two people. Like
Yeah.
when I was a kid, I would go, "Oh, the voice in my head," and then there's me. And for
Yeah.
the felt like the voice in my head had more power. Like I almost couldn't control it because like the way I was thinking was too fast for me to like.
Yeah.
I didn't think I could slow down my thinking basically.
Yeah.
And longest time I accepted that the way it was until I heard a monk doing a TED talk, which is random and funny. The funniest thing I've actually said today, a monk
Yeah.
doing. But yeah, this monk was doing a TED talk, and he basically said like instead of like how would I put it, giving things meaning,
Yeah.
you just be. For example, let's say somebody slapped you. Obviously, it's gonna hurt. But if you just go, okay, this person slapped me, your immediate reaction obviously would be to retaliate for most people. You can
Yeah.
actually do that in like less than a nanosecond. It's that.
Yeah.
But like the difficult thing would be to go, oh, okay, someone slapped me. Why did they slap me? How do I feel about it? Okay, it hurts. I mean, it sounds idiotic talking about it this slowly, but because your brain works really fast, it computes all of these things rapidly.
Yeah.
If you want answer, which is, oh, someone slapped me. How dare they? Boom, slap them back. But somebody slapped you and you think about it and go, okay, I didn't like this, but it's happened. I'm not going to retaliate. I choose not to retaliate. I'm probably going to choose to tell this person, hey, don't do this. Maybe if they try to do it again, you stop them or whatever. But just giving
Yeah.
yourself like space to kind of like go, okay, so this happened. Let me observe it. How do I feel about it? And what do I choose to do about it? It gives you so much power back.
Yeah.
It's really like I don't know if I'm explaining it very well, but it's something that when I started doing, it
Yeah.
me a lot. Like I'm not gonna say I don't panic anymore because I do sometimes things scare the shit out of me, but the things that used to scare me or like things that used to catch me off guard, I now give my time space to just think about them before I can
Yeah.
make it was really interesting and it helped me combine the duality I thought I was, but just realize, oh no, I'm just one. The reason I think that they're two is because one is operating much more faster than the other one.
Yeah.
I thought I had to operate as fast as my subconscious, but now I'm like, no, no, no. This is the pace I choose to go. So you join me. And it was really difficult to do it. I started meditating, and this app I was using,
Yeah.
that you take in a really really deep breath, and then control the out breath like really slowly as well. And I found myself panicking, like I'm gonna choke to death, even though that was never gonna happen. But because I've never trained myself to control my breathing,
Yeah.
it was like, oh wow, because we're breathing. Like right now, I'm talking, I'm breathing, you're breathing, everybody's breathing. But like
Yeah.
it's automatic. We've relegated our body to do it automatically. But usually, your body is supposed to do it automatically when you are asleep.
Yeah.
Or but usually when you're doing activities like you're talking or you're exercising or you're singing, like, or singers actually know how to control their breath. Like,
Yeah.
but people don't get taught this. It's like, oh, there's actually a way to breathe, because we do it, we think inherently knows how to do it. We do it, but sometimes we do it badly and it affects us like in ways. But anyway, controlling your breath, controlling how you think is very important. That's just the point I was trying to like.
The point you was making was breathing is important.
Breathing is
Well,
important.
listeners, you've heard this here first. I hope some of you guys had known that before now, because we are 40 minutes in, and if you did not know that by now, you're probably dead.
That's the thing. No, you're not dead. But like, it's I can't. I don't know. I can. I'm just struggling to find the right words to just like explain it. But the point is, like, if you just are and you don't automatically go with the first reaction when something happens to you, it helps you calm down. It also helps if you struggle, like I was thinking there was like a voice in my head, and then there was me
Yeah.
as instead
No,
of thinking,
yeah.
it helped.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have a, there was a duality of myself. Like I've never had an issue between my thoughts and myself, my person, my actions, myself in
Yeah.
that sense. But the duality that I experience, I mean, in regards to thinking and processing, as you said about the monk, that's happened a few times where there's conflict that's arisen, and I've not so much walked away as I've let it slide, and not because, oh, I've got to let it slide, but because I feel like there's certain situations where any sort of retaliation
Yeah.
makes you the bad guy. If I think that if there's a power difference, if
Yeah.
there's a situation where someone's trying, there's no one looks good fighting the little guy, you know. And so
Yeah.
if there's a power imbalance, I tend not to retaliate. You know, if I don't, not in a disrespectful sense of you're not worth my time, but
Yeah.
in a sense of I don't get anything from hurting you. I don't like hurting people.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to allow it to be, because I know this situation can unfold. I'm going to just.
I wish
Yeah,
younger me was like that.
Sorry.
No, I wish younger me was like that.
Well, younger me was only like that because when I was because up until about the age of 14, 15, I used to like to fight. I didn't just
Did you
I didn't
sort it
just
out?
fight. I got enjoyment from it.
Yeah.
I felt it almost felt good in a sense to know that you're stronger, you know, to do that. I didn't fight anybody that didn't. I didn't just go out fighting people. But if you tried to fight me, I would fight you back happily.
Okay.
But then, obviously, when you get into fights, adults then tell you one thing or the other. And when I reflect back on who I was back then, I don't like it now, and I didn't like it then. And that's when I stopped around 14, 15, because it was situations like, if you hit the person in the wrong spot, that's you in jail forever. That's how I got there. You hit someone in the wrong spot, you're in jail forever. I was like, I don't want to go to jail because I want to be able to travel the world. You can't do that from a box.
Yeah.
So that was literally all it took. It's like
you did it from self-preservation. I mean, it's actually cool.
Yeah, but then it became something I just really didn't like. It started as self. I don't want to go to jail. Not because I don't want to go to jail, but because I want to travel the world.
There's nothing wrong with
I mean, I don't want to go to jail. Don't get me. But then as I grew as a person, I realized that you don't get anything from it. I don't enjoy making other people's days worse, and I'd never be that person.
Yeah,
making people's days better. That's what I always aim to do. If I see someone sad, I'll do what I can to help them. If I see someone happy, I'll join in and try and make things even better still. But yeah, that's how things like that started. But the duality in myself, anyway, that goes back to more of like, have you ever noticed how you're a different person with different people? So like with you, it's always a fun enjoy. It's always out to do something fun, something new, something adventurous. With other people, I might be more reserved, more chill back, more laid back. Some people I'm always serious with, and some people I'm like a timid version of myself, almost like being back at school. And like one way of putting it is like how I talk to you isn't the same way that I talk when I'm at work, for instance. When I'm at work, I have what a lot of people have, and it's called the white voice. Essentially, it's a voice that I use to make other people feel comfortable with my existence. I've tried to
Yeah.
stop doing things like that because I realized that my existence shouldn't seem threatening in and of itself. If
Hmm.
I do something threatening in and of itself, then that's one thing, but that's not me. But
Yeah.
like, but I shouldn't have to make you feel comfortable that I'm there.
Yeah.
But I've done it for a majority of my past working places. So I'll make my voice softer.
Hmm.
I'll I'll sort of put my body language in a less threatening position just
Yeah.
because I'm a tall black guy. You know, I don't
Mm.
want to. I'd never come off with anything that makes me anything that does trigger me. I have
Mm.
to swallow it and then just. I mean, I can't express myself because then I become the angry black man, and it's just stuff that I don't want associated with myself. Not because there's anything wrong with it, but because there's
Yeah.
stuff wrong with it. You know, it's like
Mm.
I deserve to feel how I feel. I deserve to act how I act, and I deserve not to have to make myself less me to make
Yeah.
you feel comfortable. So it's something that I've been working on myself to stop doing, essentially. And you know, it doesn't make me less of a nice person.
Yeah.
You know, I know that I'm a generally nice person. At least I try to be. You know,
Hmm.
and I think personally, I think that's what's important. But other people may disagree. But yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't have to make myself seem weaker than I am to
Yeah.
make you feel comfortable is where I'm going with that.
I think,
But then,
yeah, to your point,
yeah,
you're totally right. We are definitely like different people to the different people we talk with, interact with, different situations we find ourselves. Like for example, let's say okay, swearing. Yeah.
yeah,
I That was literally the longest time. Even thinking about it now, I was thinking, oh, my past self was goofy because I'd want to swear, but instead of swearing, like saying shit, I'd go shish kebab, just replacing it. And it was like
yeah,
I trained myself to do that because you were raised to be like say swearing is bad. So to this day, I don't
yeah.
swear in front of my parents, but
No,
as an
yeah,
adult, I
no,
decided, okay, swearing is just sounds that comes from our face holes, basically. And
yeah,
sometimes it's perfect. Like think about it. Let's say like you are this chef that's creating
yeah,
this amazing dish, and sometimes like this different spice, random spice that you put in it, just
yeah,
makes the whole like dish really, really good. That's how I
yeah,
see sentences. Sometimes the swear
yeah.
word is just that seasoning that just makes it.
Seasoning, yeah,
Oh, yeah. So to me, I'm like, there are places in it, and I know people look at that and go, "Oh, you're crass, or you're rude, or you're like not mannered, whatever." But I'm like,
yeah,
but it's noises. We decided as a society, oh, these noises, they're completely fine. You can use them however you want, but these other noises you can't because they make me feel uncomfortable or whatever. But at the same time as well, I chose to go, okay, I'll swear when I want to, but I am policing myself when I'm at my parents' house in talk as plain as possible and try not to swear. But that doesn't mean that like I'm all of these versions of me are not me. It's just like, oh, you are like considerate of other people and go, okay, I would rather be polite for this person or whatever. It's just easier. So people do
yeah,
that. Where it gets complicated is when you bring race into it. Like you were saying, like at work, somebody might say something that you don't agree with, and you have to tell yourself to call. I'm gonna call it. I'm not gonna like say anything because it's gonna make me seem a certain way.
yeah,
That's basically you, well, employing self control, but also going, okay, yes, I might win this argument or whatever, but I choose not to. I like working here or whatever, so I'm just gonna just let it
yeah,
slide. The issue I have it is there was a time where people were, it's called code switching,
yeah,
where people like especially like people of our race going, oh, this person code switch, therefore like they're a hypocrite or they're just trying to appease to the white person or they're denying their blackness.
mm,
And for the longest time that bothered me because I didn't have like a response to it and I haven't thought about the topic very well.
yeah,
But now I'm like, no, it's like if you like some people might be prejudiced. So like obviously like okay, let's say the white voice thing.
mm-hmm,
I
yeah,
literally have seen people who have proved where to go, like, oh, I'm a sales, I'm a telemarketer. So
yeah,
if I call and go, hey, my name is like Jamal or whatever, immediately people like would hang up on them. And these are like the prospects that they're trying to get, like, I don't know, their money or whatever. We're not going
yeah,
to talk about capitalism and its detriments, but um
yeah,
yeah, so because these people are going, okay, say I have a quarter to hit, my livelihood depends on it. And the fact
yeah,
that I'm black basically means I'm disadvantaged in certain communities.
yeah,
So in order to survive, I have to emulate the I don't know, the mannerisms of the people
Hi,
they
my
feel
name's
comfortable.
Reginald, and I'm here to tell you today
Yeah,
that you have been entered in this luxurious prize draw. All
yeah.
you have to do is transfer me 10.99.
There you go. So like I get it. There's a place in it because like people forget we're like we're animals. We're still evolving, and there are so many things that we were not exposed to that we have to figure out. And sometimes, yeah, the solution might not be the best solution, but it works. You know, people will forget that because like with the code switching, for me, if I look about it in terms of like the human race as one and all of us evolving, there was a
Mhm.
time this particular job didn't exist in the human timeline. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's only recently been like invented in the human race, let's say in the last 100 years. That's
yeah,
recent. So all of these awkwardness, it's not like the person who invented it sat down and thought, oh, there would be like a black executive trying to make, I don't know, a sale in this white neighborhood, and
mm,
he's going to be discriminated against because of how he sounds and what his name sound like. No, they
yeah,
just thought, oh, telephone, people can communicate better. Yeah, great. But as we use them and interact with them, we realize, oh, all of this, like, let's say hurdles, and we have
yeah,
to figure out a way to jump them. And sometimes, yeah, the solution might not be the best, but it works. If it works, it works, and
yeah,
that's the solution we go with. So I think code switching in itself is a form of evolution,
yeah,
and it's very impressive, to be honest, dude. Like for me, anybody who can speak two languages is very impressive to me. And if you can emulate
yeah,
another race and make them comfortable, it works. Like think about it. If you like, I don't know, yeah, you're of Caribbean heritage, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
right,
so let's say like somebody who you wouldn't expect. Let's say a Japanese guy comes and yeah, he's talking to you, but he says a word in like patois that like you didn't expect that person to know. It's gonna
yeah,
be so impressive to you. Like I watch videos like that where like say a black guy will go to Japan and like speak Japanese to them and their minds are blown because they didn't
yeah.
expect the guy to be able to speak it. So to me it's really like cool that people can do that. But you know, because of race and everything, people go, oh no, you're like you're betraying or you're denying who you are. No, I'm not. I'm trying to say
I mean, with that as well, you've got to think when it comes down to stuff like that,
yeah.
when people get surprised about it,
Hmm.
it's like I don't know what's so surprising about it. You've got to think within the last 1,000 years,
Yeah.
pretty much all languages, apart from the few that, of course, that still, I say a few, there's quite a few that still are
Yeah.
around today, but most people, at least in Western civilization,
Hmm.
you know, and even in Africa still, speak a language that's not native to their land.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, you
We
had to
speak
learn
English.
these
English
things.
is our
So us
national.
speaking other languages is common sense.
Yeah. That's actually
Like,
reminds me. People usually are surprised about how good my language is because I mean, I don't hide the fact that I'm from Gambia. Like, if I meet somebody new and like, where you from? Like, I'm from Gambia, and they go, "Oh, your English is very good." I'm like, "Yeah, I've been speaking it since I was a kid," and they're so shocked about it. And now it doesn't surprise me anymore. But when I first came, I was like, "Wait, what? Like, you mean to tell me we know more about England than you know about like your former colonies, really?" And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's another
Don't learn
topic.
anything.
That's another
You've got,
topic, but like it was really interesting to like try to explain in context like why we speak English, how it came to happen, and all that stuff. And I was under the assumption that people knew, but most of my white friends, I've literally had to like I had to give almost like a 5 minutes like summary of like what happened
mm,
about how I came to like learn English because they were so surprised that I could speak it and they thought I learned it when I came. So like to them they thought, oh, you were here like a few years and you can speak English this clearly and then you have an accent now. And I was like, no, I've been speaking this all my life, mate. And they're so
yeah.
shocked, like, wait, what? How?
It's like it
Uh,
started long ago when my
yeah,
ancestors went across to Spain and invented paella,
yeah,
and
it
and
was
they've
so
come back
funny,
and
like
they've
just
come.
yeah. But that also just makes me realize one thing. Like for example, if tie this to like in terms of racism, the where I sit now is so okay, let's say during slavery, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure not everybody just went on board when it started happening. Yeah, you had to tie money into it. You had to go like, oh, we're better than these people. They're like animals or whatever they have to do to convince. Like, for example, let's say you are a company and you have a product that you want to sell.
Yeah.
People are not just going to jump on it. You have to hype it up. You have to convince them that, oh, this is good, this is that. This is not me
Actually, this
excusing it.
is
I'm
where the
just
Spanish
saying,
Inquisition had come into play,
say them.
because the Spanish Inquisition and the Vatican Church.
Yeah,
Because what would happen was, if you want a lot of people on your side quickly, you
yeah.
bring religion into it,
There
and
you
that's
go.
when they had started to come out with these amended Bibles and stuff like that, which
Yeah,
essentially classed us as less than human, soulless creatures.
there you
And
go.
obviously,
So
anything you look at the difference, like, yeah, they look like us, but they're not like us. And then they had to put out a lot of propaganda about how sides of our heads are different.
that's what
How
I'm saying.
although
Yeah,
we look the same, we're a species that can only do physical labor. We can't think as good. And it's
mm-hmm.
like, well, actually, you're going to believe that when we don't speak your language yet. And then when we do learn your language, you
Yeah.
tell us we're not allowed to learn how to read and write. And therefore, we only learn enough of your language for you to tell us what to do.
It's very interesting. Like, in order to
Mm.
kind of like make us less than, like, I'll go back to my first point. Like, both people had to be lied to. Like, basically, it's the
Yeah,
people who are enslaved. They had to be told, "Oh, you are less than." And obviously, most of them came from like royal blood or whatever. And they go, "No, that's not true." But it literally got beaten in them. An example I'll give you was, have you seen Roots?
yeah. I've seen a few episodes. I watched the first. I think it was the first season. I've not
Okay.
watched. Yeah, we
Yeah,
stopped.
I've watched the movie and I've seen a few series like about it, but there's always this scene that it's always included, and I think it's a very powerful scene. So
It
Kunta
was the
Kinte,
name.
yeah, exactly. What was the name?
Yeah,
Where they were like, "Your name is Toby," I think,
Toby.
and he
Yeah,
kept going,
yeah.
"No, it's
No,
Kunta
I couldn't
Kinte."
come to. Yeah,
Literally, he got whipped into changing his name.
yeah,
And I'm thinking that's almost kind of like this. That's literally the perfect analogy of how, say, black people have been convinced for hundreds and hundreds of years that they're
yeah,
less than, but at the same time as well, the white people also had to be convinced that they were better than black people.
yeah,
So it like both sides have been lied to.
yeah,
Point that it's like ingrained in them. Whilst the people in the middle or the people with the power were like, ha ha ha, we just succeeded because like we convinced these people that they're better. They might have believed it, but they had to also, like, if you think about all the hard work they have been putting into bringing black people down to this day. Like, for example, if you go in America, like most people in jail are like of are black, the black population,
by design,
police being
because
racist and all of these
slavery is
things.
only legal
Yeah,
if you're a convicted felon
exactly.
serving time.
So if you think about all of these like tactics that have been put to basically make it harder for black people to basically excel, I think then you can start to realize, oh, no, the reason why, say, like, now we can say choose if you want to say, okay, like black people are poor or they're not good or whatever, say you can choose any ghetto and use that to illustrate your point, but you have to
Yeah,
remember there was a time this was not a ghetto. Yeah, but all
yeah,
these but black industries literally got burned down, like systematically
yeah,
destroyed and all of that stuff. Therefore, these generations had to depend on the government or whatever, the education. So many
yeah.
things got
Whilst
systematically
being hindered
removed.
by those same services, not
Yeah,
offering the same level of care, not offering any help at all.
exactly. Got systematically
Of a different
removed
complexion, we'll
to
get that.
keep them down and then go, see, they're down. They're down not
Yeah,
because of what we did to hinder them, but they're down just
yeah,
because of their rate, like their race. So it's just interesting to like kind of know all of these things, and because also people are prejudiced, it's easier to go, no, hold on, they're down because of what you did. Instead, they'd go, no, obviously I'm doing better, so therefore,
yeah.
like,
And really,
yeah,
what
I'm
they've done is
better,
they've shot
whilst
them
they're
in
not
the
doing
foot.
good.
You see, they enjoy wallowing in the ground.
Yeah, it's very interesting, like how humans like are like brainwashed, and this ties back to us going about our like beliefs that we used to have when we were kids, you
Yeah.
know. So
Oh, it
yeah.
does. Doesn't it?
Hmm?
Oh, it does.
It does, because like, okay,
Yeah.
even when we think about racism, for me personally, I say in terms of racism, we didn't have it. I'm not saying we don't, like, it's not non-existent, because like there's
Mhm.
tribalism and all that stuff. It's a
Yeah.
human trait. We've always been in tribes, and you have to be worried about another tribe that comes to join your tribe. But at the same time, I don't know where I'm going with, but what I'm trying to say is, because as a young kid, I got exposed to so many different races and so many different cultures.
Yeah.
I just saw people as people, and I still see people as people. It's really hard for me to like classify somebody by their color or by their race, unless if I'm describing them, description, yeah. But like just to see them as that, it's just so rare for me because it's just like, oh, hey, this is this person, this is that person. Like to the point, like people have to go. Like let's say I'm talking to my friends back at home in Gambia, and I
Yeah.
go, oh, like let's say Paul's my friend. I talk about Paul
Yeah.
because they have people Paul in named Paul because of
Yeah.
Christianity. That's also another thing. They would have to ask, oh, is this person white or black? Then I go, oh, it's a white person. But to me, it's Paul is Paul. It's not Paul the white dude, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, so like, okay, I could have been unfortunate enough to grow in a different generation where they go, oh, white people are the devil, this and this and that. And then I just fucking hate white people for the rest of my life, you know?
Yeah. It could never
But yeah.
be that.
Hmm?
We're too. I say it could never be that. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like hate for someone based on anything physical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless, of course, they've got a tattoo of a swastika or something like that. But
But
anything
even
physical
that,
that they can't control,
yeah.
anything like that,
Mm.
I could never. I feel like that is a. I think hate towards that for any illogical reason because it is
Mm.
illogical
Yeah.
is just a sign of just a lower brain function because I think you just can't. I think if you're at a certain level of intelligence, then
Mm-hmm.
you have to question the stuff that you talk. Because of course, as much as you're spoon fed a lot of the stuff that
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot of stuff that you talk. Like I grew up in a heavily um, Christian household. Like my part of my nan's house was converted into a church that
Mm-hmm.
people come through and
Yeah.
that. And the thing is that I said I believe there is something out there. Yeah, I do. I believe
It
that
would
it's
be
more than I
idiotic
can
not to.
comprehend. But I don't believe that there's anybody I don't believe that there's anybody that has the solid answer or anyone
Yeah.
could say I'm right, you're wrong. And therefore I moved away from my religious family's beliefs. But that
Yeah.
was drilled into me as a
Mm-hmm.
kid. As a,
Yeah.
and there's more holes in the story than I would like to, go across. It'd be
Yeah.
a case of that I just grow away from it. If I can't really if something doesn't make sense to me, I need to find out. I need to find something to make it make sense. If it doesn't, then I
Mm-hmm.
can't assume it and I'll question it until something does. So
Yeah.
that's one thing. The other thing is hating somebody for something that they can't control. You know?
Yeah. That's very interesting. I like I'm gonna tie that into something that seems random, but it's like almost the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like hating somebody for some like say something they can't control, like for example their race or something. Like also
Yeah.
like when it comes to dating as well, like the same way you say like okay if somebody's like just racist for the most stupid thing like somebody's skin color or their race is just like you see them as somebody dumb essentially. It's the
Yeah.
same way like I see it when like okay for example okay I like beautiful women, I like all that stuff, and there was a time where I'd reject somebody just based on how pretty they were or how sexy or how hot I found them until I
Yeah.
started to realize, oh, hey, like literally your face looks the way it does based on two random people having sex to have you. Like you,
Yeah.
as a person, didn't choose to do that. Yeah. Let's say that somebody's really, really, really ugly. Obviously, okay, because we humans like pretty stuff, we'd feel some type of way about somebody being ugly. Therefore, they wouldn't have the same opportunities to say mate or have partners or whatever, the same way somebody who's pretty would be.
Yeah.
But just realizing that, oh, somebody's face looks like that and they have nothing to do with it, it's the
Yeah.
like coolest thing to just discover. I mean, I still have a long way to go in terms of me improving because, like, yeah, if I'm not attracted to someone, I'm not. Let's say they're ugly. Like, I sometimes just go, oh my God, this person's very ugly. But now it doesn't come from like a mean place where, oh, they're ugly, therefore they don't deserve love or doesn't deserve whatever. Now it's like, they're ugly because they just are. But I understand they didn't choose to look like that way. The same way I understand the prettiest person didn't choose to do that. Like, they literally have nothing, no
Yeah.
control over how their bone structure literally like formed to make it look the way they do, you know?
That's it. I mean,
So like
I'd like to, like I've just putting it out there, but I'm a very attractive person. Just super attractive. Just like honestly, one
Yeah,
look and most people just fall in love.
yeah,
But you know, if I didn't have such a great personality like I do,
yeah.
then what is that really? What is that really? Just congratulations about my face. So I make sure that my personality is just as beautiful as I am.
Yeah, no, that's it for me. Well, yeah, I'd say I'm like literally, the handsome Squidward. That's me basically.
Yeah,
Gorgeous, gorgeous boy out here. That's just what I
yeah.
think. Other people might think different, but me personally, I actually do
You
it.
know,
It's
I
a
see it.
mental
I see
thing.
it. It's the blue skin for me.
Yeah.
You know, it's the blue skin. It's like the spitting image.
No, I like, I powder it. I cover it because it makes people weird. So like I powdered it black. That's why I look black.
Oh, that makes.
I
Yeah,
am
I
of
was wondering all the time. That time on
squid
Halloween where you were just
race.
blue. He's like,
Huh?
oh, I forgot my makeup. That time
Exactly.
in Halloween where you was just completely blue and he's like, sorry, I forgot my makeup. It was just,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
damn.
But yeah. That's the thing though. Like I sometimes I pretend that I'm a dating coach, and I just
Mm,
go like, if you ever feel nervous about how pretty somebody is, just like you remember they didn't choose to look that way. Yeah, they're pretty or
yeah.
whatever. But it shouldn't bother you. Like at the core of it is a person. If you're attracted to them, you're attracted to them. But like them, like their beauty or how hot they are, shouldn't be a factor. I mean, it is a factor, but it shouldn't make you nervous to go talk to them.
Well, I mean, I say eye of the beholder, and basically, someone you don't find
No,
attractive
no,
could
some
be the most
people
beautiful
are
person in the
ugly.
world.
Like they are.
I don't, yeah,
That's
I
the
mean, I
fact.
don't believe
You're
that
ugly.
there's,
I'm not
I've
trying to
not
make you
seen
feel
someone,
insecure or whatever.
yeah,
But some people are. And the thing is, you just have to be brutally honest with yourself and go, yo, you know what? I'm not a looker, but I got all this other stuff that are working out for
well,
me.
no, because I don't even believe that.
Yeah.
I think personally, there's something
Yeah.
beautiful in everybody. But
There is.
secondly, I've seen some of the people that I would class as really attractive
Yeah.
be called like just ugly, like
Mm.
ugly,
Yeah.
like hoggly with a
Yeah.
H, you know.
Yeah.
That's and I've seen people respond to them that way, and then other people are like, no, they are really. There's another people go, no, like beauty is subjective. What you
But dude,
find beautiful, someone else might find ugly, you
I'm
know.
just
But you've got to
realizing
think as
something.
well.
Do you
Fireworks are
think?
beautiful.
Yeah, but
Flowers
yeah.
are beautiful.
Mm.
Christmas lights are beautiful. You know,
Depending on, yeah, but do you
mountains are
think,
beautiful.
I
Lakes are
have a question
beautiful,
for
but they
you.
don't look the same.
Yeah, I have a question for you.
Yeah,
Do you think it's because like generally we're insecure, like to the point, let's say you just like say you see somebody, let's say an ugly girl approaches you,
yeah.
yeah, because I think we're so like quick to dismiss them, to go, oh no, how dare you, like stuff like that, like it's like
We,
ego thing.
yeah,
Because it's like, for example, let's say you held yourself, say you think you're a pretty girl or a pretty guy, yeah.
yeah.
Obviously, in your head, you think, okay, I would only be like dealing with people who are pretty like me or who are on my level, and then
Hmm.
somebody who's not, or somebody who you deem like, um, let's say ugly, maybe
Yeah.
comes and talk to you, you feel like that's gonna like reduce your stock or your worth, so you dismiss them quickly without even giving them a chance. Like
No,
I think
I mean,
that's probably
I think
because we
some
haven't
people
people
could
have
do
not
that.
given say ugly people enough of a chance to like interact with them to realize no, this is a beautiful human being, facially not blessed, but still like yo, this person great. So we just dismiss them without even like getting to know them. Therefore, because a lot of people are so insecure that they're like, I don't want to be seen with this person, so they just dismiss them real quickly. Therefore it makes it harder for them to be dateable, and that's again, say if you're ugly and you approach like I don't know 10 people or whatever your number is and they all reject you, there's this human trait
Hmm.
where you're like, oh, like everybody's gonna reject me based on this limited experiment or limited results you had, and you use that to basically apply it to everybody. It's just basically like, let's say a girl got her heart broken by like 5 dudes and she
Yeah,
concludes all men are like horrible pieces of shit. I'm like, no, you haven't literally
yeah,
dated even if you dated a million people, which is a lot, and they all effed you over, you would still be wrong to go they're all like the same. Because in
yeah,
terms of the population, that's literally less than 1% of like all guys on earth, or all
yeah,
guys ever, you know?
yeah,
So yeah, so I think in terms of ugly people, it's almost like the same thing. Because obviously, if you think you're ugly and a lot of people think you're ugly, the confidence it's
Mhm.
going to take for you to go approach someone is way more than if somebody thinks they're handsome or pretty. Because you the way you carry yourself is different. Because you're going with, oh my god, I'm ugly, they're going to reject me. So you're carrying all that negative energy with you. So it's going to be harder to go approach someone, and then they reject you, and then you go, oh, I knew it was going to happen anyway. So you basically stop yourself from approaching more people. And then also
Yeah,
the
I
other
mean, I
people that
don't think that.
insecure will reject you. So it's like it's weird. I don't know where I'm going with this, but like it's
No,
interesting.
I think okay, yeah. So basically, I have a different view of that. I mean, personally, like I said, don't think
How
anyone
dare
is.
you
If
not
someone approaches,
agree with me? Huh.
if someone approaches me, I
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
like that's it. Even if I know I've got, because you can approach me and shoot your shot.
yeah,
Even I could probably
yeah.
see and probably have no intention of being like, yeah, no, because of any other, for
Mm,
any number of reasons. But I'll let
yeah.
you talk to me.
Mm,
I enjoy meeting new people, and what you find is everyone
yeah.
has their own interesting story. At least most people do. Yeah,
People are
but
awesome, honestly.
personally, growing up, what I found,
Mm,
yeah, is that
yeah,
you'll find that the more insecure people in terms of about appearance, attractiveness, and stuff like that tends to come from the people that are more accepted as being attractive. And the
yeah.
people that are less accepted as being attractive and more towards the undesirable tend
Mm,
to be the people that have the most confidence and tend to get the most, most partners as such. And they tend to use that confidence. Confidence is sexy to a lot of people.
that's true.
And so, and that's something that sticks in a lot of people's minds. So generally speaking, it can do a lot more for you than any looks could. And usually, people that are attractive tend to be more self-conscious about how attractive they are, and therefore
Yeah.
they're less.
I'm gonna say a confession. It's actually not a confession, but like say teenage me would have been mortified to share this story, but
Yeah.
now I'm more confident. I don't really care. Like, okay, so there was a time where you know, boys, how it's like when you started sleeping around and we talked to our friends about it. It was just more like, oh my god, who slept with like the hottest girl or this and that, and
Yeah.
you automatically, because also you like as a person, you're not secure with yourself, so therefore you're seeking validation based on how beautiful or how hot the person you slept with is.
Yeah.
um, but I slept with a girl who was not conventionally hot facially, but
Okay.
she got the body, and you could tell she got the body, but face wise, it was like, yeah, you know. And I remember one of my friends, like, we were joking about it. We're like, yo, she's actually like really, really in like a great shape. She has a nice house, all of this thing. And I was curious because I was interested in her, but I was like, yo, are you gonna sleep with her? And he blatantly said, yeah, but I'm gonna put a bag over her head. Horrible thing to say, but it was
Yeah.
really funny. So we laughed about it and all that stuff. And you know, one thing led to another. I ended up sleeping with the girl, but I never told my boys ever because I was so embarrassed. But
Yeah.
the point I'm trying to prove is like, yeah, okay, yeah, she was really confident. She knew she was confident, but she also knew she had the bod. So it was like, oh, you know. And
Yeah.
it led to a discovery that there are like different ways of classifying people. So there you can be pretty or you can be beautiful, the same types of women. You can be pretty or beautiful, but you can be hot and not pretty or beautiful, which
Mm-hmm.
was this girl, or you can be both pretty, beautiful, and hot. Like that you can, there's combinations. So some people have all of it. Yeah, somebody can not be beautiful and not hot, but have sex appeal. Somebody can be
Yeah.
beautiful, hot, also have sex appeal. Somebody can be beautiful and not hot. They're just like different mutations, but all people run through it. But the point is, like, give ugly people a chance sometimes, because sometimes they have a great body. It's very vain to
Give
say that.
ugly people a
Like,
chance. Okay.
yeah,
That's how we're going to end the podcast. Give ugly people a
give
chance.
ugly people a chance.
Okay. All
But
right.
yeah,
Well, it's been fun. It's been fun. Hour and 13 minutes, almost 14, though. So we are going to have to wrap this up. Ah,
yeah,
until the next episode of Therapy Sessions. You want to
awesome. Can we
you want
just
to sing
like
us
just
out?
for the minute?
Yeah. I'm
Uh,
awesome. How are you feeling, Oz?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Feeling good? I'm feeling awesome.
I am feeling amazing.
Amazing. That's
Are you
good.
gonna
That's
top?
what I like to hear.
I think we should spend the last 40 seconds just topping the most positive words we can. I'm feeling amazing. How are you gonna top that?
I am bloody fantastic.
I am godlike.
I am spectacular.
I am universe-like.
I am multiversally amazing.
I am energy.
I am energy times 2.
I am energy times infinite, mate. Tough that.
I am E equals MC squared.
Yeah, but that's all included in energy times infinite. Like,
I'm the whole calculation.
yeah.
You might just be the equals. I'm the whole calculation. Okay.
Hey, everybody,
All
thanks
right.
for listening to this podcast. It's been
Thanks for
amazing.
listening. Have a
Catch
good
you on
evening.
the next one.
Until the next.
Bye.
Excelsior. That's not mine.